I cannot take responsibility for this happening myself, but I think we were one of the early influencers that caused craft beer to become known to customers. A few of those customers decided, maybe I'm going to homebrew. Maybe I'm going to go to the Siebel Institute. Maybe I'm going to get a job at a brewery, and maybe I'm going to open a brewery. It grows from there. My name is Michael Roper. I am the founder, owner of the Hop Leaf Bar in Chicago. Beer is this historically wonderful, convivial beverage that brings people together. It is a beverage that is a lot more important in history than many people realize. It's not just something that we like the taste of, that we like the culture around it. It's actually one of the reasons that we exist as a species. That little brewery means a lot more than you think it might. The Vietnam War was going on in America. The politicians felt guilty that young men were being sent to fight in a war across the globe, and they couldn't vote, and they couldn't even go into a bar and get a beer because the drinking age was 21, but the draft age was 18. I turned 18 4 days after that happened. Not only did it allow me to go to bars and drink legally, but it allowed me to work in a bar. I don't have a family history in taverns. My father was a skilled machinist in a factory, but I found a job in a bar. I found that I really liked the tavern culture, and I liked it as a career. In my life, I worked at 14 bars. Every one of them had a unique position in their neighborhood as a meeting place, as a gathering place for certain work people from factories, or people had their weddings and funerals and all these things that wrapped up around these places. I became very interested in what I was selling, and I was very interested in the history of the places that I worked at. The first bar I ever worked at carried a lot of those really boring beers, but the owners of that bar were a gay couple, which a gay couple in early 1970s Detroit was not the easy life. So these two would go on vacation. They went to San Francisco on vacation, where they could be who they were in public and no one would beat them up. One of the things they brought back with them was the knowledge of a beer, Anchor Steam. Anchor Steam was really the first craft beer in America. And there weren't very many other beers like that. Where there were beers like that was imported beers from other countries. Every big city had a little German neighborhood. Detroit didn't have a lot of that, but I used to visit Chicago, and Chicago had a really big German population. When I came in, I wanted to do something really different because there were other bars, and some of them are still here, that carried some good beer, but they still had to carry the other stuff. I said, I'm going to do something really different. I'm not going to carry the other stuff. I'm going to be a bar that isn't going to carry Miller Lite. I'm not going to carry Old Style. I'm not going to carry Schlitz or Stroh's or any of that stuff. And the reason that I did that was certainly not the smartest business decision, especially at the time, because a lot of people just left. My passion and my belief that if I won't drink it, how can I sell it to somebody else? If I don't really believe that this is among the best beers in the world, why would I sell it? I wanted to sell things that I liked. I wanted to hire people who also liked this. So we evangelized for these sort of entry-level better beers, hoping that we put people on the path. Now, a lot of people, they had that one. I said, it's okay, I'll pay for it, but it's not my thing. And there's a bar right next door that carries all that stuff. But we really quickly attracted an audience that other bars didn't think existed. Early on, there was one regional brewery that made a big difference for us, and it was Bell's Brewery from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Brewed a wide variety of very interesting, very flavorful beers. They became a regionally powerful brewery for making people try something different. They were important for the industry in general, but they were very important for us. We did convince a lot of people who otherwise would not have maybe tried these things at that time to try them. In some cases, we kind of created some monsters. Fortunately, the appetite for these beers grew, and we became really quickly known as like a mecca for better beer. People in the far-off suburbs would drive here just to come here and drink beer they couldn't get. us and a few other bars became big. They didn't call it that then, but we were influencers. We caused other bars to start being a little more brave about carrying things that they never heard of and offering a couple interesting beers. They were still mostly selling Miller Lite. It was worthwhile having a cooler with a few bottled beers of these others. Hop Leaf's the milieu that we have created here. We are offering a combination of things that are very, very unique. We have an enormous collection of historical breweriana that show off the visual aesthetic of the brewing industry in Belgium, the rest of Europe, and the United States for the last century. The oldest thing I have on my walls is from 1896, which just happens to be the year that these buildings were built. There's something to look at. And it's a good thing because you notice another thing we don't do is that we are a screenless venue. There are almost no bars in Chicago and very few anywhere in the country that don't have any television sets. This is something I have been very passionate about from day one. I think people should go to a place and get away from screens to eat, drink, talk, to look at the people you're talking to. We still print paper menus. I don't like QR codes. I don't like menus on a screen, but that also is a part of our experience. Is like, what's new today? Oh wow, that wasn't there yesterday, and it might not be there next week. Our menu, it's not just a list, so it tells you where the beer is made, what the alcohol percentage is, a few sentences or a paragraph telling you why you should have this beer, or an interesting fact about the brewery history or the style or something. It's a readable thing, and it's updated every day, and the server can help you pair it with your food. I think we try to be very cognizant of creature comforts. So we're aware of all these different things about atmosphere, aesthetic, and comfort, so that people are attracted to be here. And once here, we want them to focus on what they're eating, drinking, and their neighbors. It has been a winning philosophy for us that there should be some places where adults go to drink adult beverages, have adult conversations in the company of other adults. Aren't as many places just for adults. Our beer, because we don't carry the cheap stuff, so that's what you find when you come here.
Voy saliendo de la entrevista con Michael de Hop Leaf. Qué padre poder haber escuchado de viva voz cómo se ha transformado la industria de la cerveza aquí en Chicago.